Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven and welcome to another episode of Hoarders. Just kidding, this is just my garage. Clearly, I really need to clean out my garage, so I thought I would show you guys the process. Just a realistic, clean, and organized with me video. So my garage has been organized a few times. I've taken like the whole day, 2 days, 3 days to like set it up all nice, do containers and labels and things like that, and it just keeps getting messed up because of all the projects that I have going on around my house, whether that be remodeling, getting rid of old furniture, doing DIY projects, or throwing parties. Anytime I do anything like that, stuff just gets added and messed up in the garage, and right now this is what it's looking like, and it is horrible, as you can see. So the first thing that I do anytime I'm organizing anything or decluttering is to find out which things I'm going to donate or maybe sell, and also find out which things I just need to throw away. So I'm starting off with my donation pile. I always keep a donation pile going in my garage at all times. Anytime I come across anything inside of my house that I need to donate, I add it to the donation pile in the garage, and every so often I actually donate it. Clearly it's been a while since I've dropped off my donation stuff, so I'm just gathering all that stuff up and finding any extra stuff to add to the pile. I have everything from my shoes and clothes to Ziya's shoes and clothes to housewares to just random things. I try to donate as much as possible. Normally I try to give it straight to people who I know will use it, like directly person to person. If not, I will drop it off at a women's shelter or Goodwill, Salvation Army, things like that. So I'm just loading up my trunk to go and make a trip to drop stuff off. This will get a lot of that initial clutter out of my way so I can start feeling like I'm actually making progress. Now I'm just kind of moving stuff around. This is where things kind of get confusing. I'm just trying to get a general idea of where I want each type of item to live in my garage. And I'm just trying to make space and see what's even in this big old pile. I have this couch that I'm planning on giving to a friend, so I'm keeping it in my garage for now. And it had just so much stuff on it, stuff from birthday parties and floaties and all types of random stuff. So I'm just kind of going through it. And as I pick up an item, I'm trying to take it to the general area of the garage that I know I want to keep it in. But then I realized I really needed to handle these floaties. I had a lot of them that were still blown up or like halfway blown up from using them throughout the summer, but we're coming to the end of the season now. I really don't need all these floaties blown up, and I really just need to deflate them and store them away. I realized that some floaties are harder to deflate than others, and I realized that I needed to get one of those pumps that has a deflate mode where it sucks the air out really fast, but I didn't have one, so I was struggling to deflate these floaties. I got frustrated with trying to deflate the floaties, so I took a break and I actually decided to throw away some of the decorations that I made for Ziya's mermaid birthday party. I had been hanging on to these. I don't know why I thought I needed to keep these. I'm never gonna have another mermaid party. We're never gonna use this exact theme for anything else. These are just little DIY, so I was like, okay, finally time to throw them away. So then this is actually the next day. I came back to tackle the floaties, and my dad actually had to come over and help me squeeze all the air out of all these big floaties, but we got it done. I was able to shove them into a container for the time being, and then I wanted to actually get started on the other side of the garage. So again, I just have piles and piles of stuff where it was originally organized into containers, but now it's just like the containers are on the floor and there's stuff spilling out of the containers and there's stuff on top of the containers, and I don't even know what all this stuff is. I have a lot of holiday decor, Christmas stuff, Halloween, Easter, birthday party stuff, extra stuff for entertaining, stuff that goes with my pool, paint, just crazy stuff. So I was just trying to see what I had and start kind of sorting through it. So then I was able to start figuring out how I wanted everything to be configured in my garage. I cleared off this shelf that had a bunch of spray paint and stuff on it because I wanted to actually use this shelf for all of my pool related items. So pool chemicals, floaties, all those things. And that's because it's right here closest to this door, which leads out into my backyard, which is your most quickest direct access to the pool. So it just makes sense for the pool stuff to be right here instead of all the way across the garage on the other side like I had it. So cleared off the shelf and started putting the pool stuff on this shelf, starting off with the floaties on top, but you'll see that I'm going to change that later because it wasn't up to par. Then I'm grabbing all the other pool stuff. Like I said, pool chemicals. I have a whole projector, outdoor projector set up with the screen and the projector and the sound bar, all that type of stuff. Anything that kind of goes with the pool or near the pool, I'm gathering it from being scattered randomly all around the garage and consolidating it onto this shelf that makes the most sense. Sometimes if I don't have the containers that I need, I still kind of want to get an idea of where everything is going to fit. So I have all of these tan furniture covers that are for my outdoor furniture, and I knew that I needed a container for them, but I wanted to make sure that they were going to fit on the shelf in the first place. So I just kind of shoved them on there for now with the plan of going to Walmart later and getting a container. But kind of piling up your stuff like this and almost doing like a mock-up is really helpful to do before you go to the store, so you actually know what containers you really need. Continuing on with the big pile of junk that was sitting in front of these 3 shelving units, again, I'm just kind of going through everything, seeing if it's donatable or trash or whatever. Some of the stuff did already have a home, it just wasn't in its home for whatever reason, so just kind of putting stuff back where it's supposed to go. I did a lot of just moving stuff around to see where it made sense to live in my garage, to see where it would fit, to see where I liked it. Some stuff I moved multiple times, kept flipping it back and forth, but it's just part of the process to get to the final product. I ended up scooting the 3 shelving units over just a little bit, just enough to where I could still open this door, but giving me a little bit more space on the other side where I have Ziya's little G-Wagon and her bike and stuff parked, to give me a little bit more space to put these Christmas props and stuff. And also my sprinkler system motherboard control panel thing is right there, so we needed to be able to access that. The bike area is a little bit crowded and kind of blocking the sprinkler system right now, but I am planning on giving my older sister the G-Wagon and the tricycle because Ziya is too big for them now, so I'm gonna give them to my niece, Bella, so those won't be there for long. So I wasn't completely done on that side, but I wanted to move on to the other side, or move back over to the other side where I just have the 2 shelving units, and work on the shelf that I wanted to designate as kind of like the home improvement shelf, I guess you could say. So this is where I'm now consolidating all of the house paint, all of the spray paint, all of the painting supplies. I got some old containers that were previously used for other things like makeup and stuff in my glam room that I held onto them, and I was too lazy to peel the labels off, but whatever, we're gonna ignore that for now. I'm using these containers to kind of help organize or separate the different types of items on this shelf, but just kind of putting all like items together. Then I'm clearing off the other shelf right next to it because this is now gonna become the everything but Christmas shelf. If you saw on the other side of the garage, I had all those Christmas decorations, and at first I had Halloween, Easter, birthday parties, all types of stuff right with it, but now the Christmas stuff is taking over, so I needed to use this whole other shelf for everything else. So this is where I'm gonna put the containers that have Halloween decorations, Easter stuff, Halloween costumes, birthday party entertaining stuff, all that type of stuff is gonna go over here now. I was honestly running out of room on those metal shelving units for all of these bins of stuff, but I did find some things that can be moved inside. I do still have storage space inside of my house, so I just took certain categories of things, like more like indoor crafts types of things and keepsakes, and I'm gonna move those inside. I found a box of all my old textbooks from college. I majored in fashion design, so I have all these like fashion figure drawing books and stuff like that, and I think these would be better suited to be kept indoors anyway. And then inevitably, as you go through the organizing process, you're gonna realize that this doesn't really fit in this container, or I found more of these things and now they don't all fit, so I need to switch this into a bigger container. So I did a lot of switching around to make things fit properly. And then I had this other pile of stuff that was just like smack in the middle of my garage. In the process of me organizing my garage, I got my refrigerators delivered for my wet bar. And I already had my new TV, which is gonna go with my wet bar as well, but my wet bar is not being installed yet. So in the meantime, I just have this giant TV, these 2 refrigerators, and a few other things that are just kind of sitting in my garage waiting to be installed. So those are kind of in the way. They won't be there forever though. Then on top of that, I have that couch that I was telling you about that I'm giving to my friend, but I'm holding in my garage for now. I also have this pink chair that came out of my office that I'm also giving to another friend. I also have this white chair that I'm trying to find somebody to give to. So I have a lot of like big pieces in my garage that are just taking up space for now, but hopefully they'll be gone soon. As I was tackling each pile, I was finding a lot of trash, but I am kind of a hoarder when it comes to anything related to entertainment painting, holidays, decorating, birthday parties, because y'all know I like to do DIYs. And when you're doing DIYs, sometimes you take unusual objects and you turn it into something. And so anytime I see something, I'm like, I could probably use this for something. I can make something out of this. Like, what if I need it for the next birthday party theme? What if I need it for the next Christmas theme? So I have a hard time throwing away stuff like that. So these little jellyfish lanterns, for example, at first I was gonna throw them completely away because I'm like, when am I ever gonna use jellyfish? But then I was like, okay, I'll throw away the scraggly part, but I'm gonna keep the lantern part because I might need these lanterns for something. But ultimately, I did get rid of a lot of trash, so I'm proud of myself. I also will be recycling what I can, of course. Then I was just kind of moving the TV and everything around to try to put it in the best spot that I can put it for now. Again, this is temporary, but I'm just trying to clear out as much space as possible. And then the last step was to just sweep out the whole garage just to freshen it up in here. I mean, it is a garage, so I'm not worried about the floors being perfectly clean, but I cannot tell you the last time this garage has been swept, so it needed it very badly. And then I did go to the store to buy the 2 containers that I needed for the last few little leftover items, put that away, and boom. Okay, so final tour of the cleaned out garage, realistic edition, not super aesthetic, empty edition, but real. So starting over here, we still have a few things that I'm trying to get rid of. This is a canopy like thing that goes over your bed that I'm trying to like sell or give away. Both of these big boxes are Christmas trees. And then I have my wreaths inside of there. Next, we have the 2 metal shelving units, which now on this side we have Halloween costumes, Easter stuff, birthday stuff, birthday stuff, birthday stuff, just my little tarps or whatever, and my extra little car stuff, just random stuff that I needed those extra containers for. But for the most part, this is like holidays that are not Christmas. Parties and events and decorations that are not Christmas are on this rack now. And then on this rack, we have paint and stuff, all of my spray paints, which I divided up into like the colorful ones and the clear coats and stuff. Then my stains and my spackles and my other types of paint related products are here. I definitely did not take the time to peel off these old labels and put real labels on them because I was honestly just being lazy. Next row, we have like gardening and more painting supplies. So I have my watering can, garden tools, paint tools, more paint tools like the brushes and the stirrers and stuff. So everything is kind of categorized there. And then these are my 2 winter storm emergency packs of stuff that I need to use for winter storm emergencies, basically. If you saw my one vlog where we had a big winter storm, you understand why I have that now, even though I live in Texas. So those are the shelves. And then I have a bunch of hoopla over here in the corner because I just do, once again. Then you have the big pile of boxes, which will be out of the way soon. Whenever they install my new outdoor wet bar, we have the 2 refrigerators for that, the TV that also goes with that project. And yeah, that's pretty much this whole side. I did not end up finding anything yet for this. I wanted to get some type of pegboard or better like hook situation. I might have to custom DIY something to be the exact size and stuff that I need to hold all of these things. This one, like, it works, but it just doesn't work super well. Like sometimes the stuff falls off and it's just, yeah, I don't know. It'll be okay for now. The shovel, for example, is like not the right kind of thing to be putting on here. I want something that can hold all of this stuff and more, you know what I mean? So stay tuned for that, I guess. And then we have this side of the garage, which is Christmas Central. So we still have my 2 racks of Christmas stuff. I have one little spot there for anything extra that I might get this year. Don't know how that's gonna work because I do kind of want to do a whole nother theme this year. But yeah, all that Christmas stuff plus these big props over here. And then again, with getting rid of stuff, I am planning on giving the little G-Wagon and the little tricycle to my niece because Ziya is too big for them now. So we'll just have Ziya's big girl bike, so that'll free up some space. And then now we have this rack of pool stuff, which I just thought made more sense to put it here, right by the door, which leads right out to the pool. So it like makes sense to be able to access it. This row has the projector, the actual projector screen, the sound bar, the actual projector. So now all the pool stuff is together, and then I just have some extra stuff over here. And then I had this random container of dirt that I didn't know what to do with. So that's just kind of sitting there for now. That is my new and improved, cleaned out garage. Does it look cute? No. Does it look aesthetic with all matching stuff and cute labels? No. But is it clean? Is it functional? Is it at least somewhat organized? Yes. And that's all I was aiming for. Hopefully I can keep it like this for at least some amount of time.